Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Welcome to the daily cricket show this on a Saturday. And on this cricket show, it would be the second day. The first, let's talk about the Pakistan versus Australia, where we saw lots of wickets falling, and but also a lot of quickness in what was happening. And Australia, the other day, as you remember, had reduced Pakistan to nothing at 97 for 8. And today, well, Pakistan eked out some runs thanks to Sarfraz Ahmed making 59 as Pakistan all for 142, thus conceding a lead of 287 runs to Australia. And Australia, Stephen Smith really um, you know he had that sort of a gung-ho attitude with 287 runs on the back of Australia, in the sense 287 runs in the lead. Australia decided to declare the innings closed at 202 for 5 with in fact Smith playing a very accelerating innings of 63, where he was so confidence personified that strokes were just flowing like real poetry in motion, one could say, as he cracked 63 with 11 boundaries. And Usman Khwaja helped it with an innings of 74, as Australia declared the innings closed to set the Pakistanis 490 runs for victory. And Pakistan had lost 2 wickets for 70 runs, and definitely there's a lot of hard work for Pakistan. We are getting into the fourth day now. In the fourth day, there is a forecast for rain, but the forecast is not so heavy that Pakistan will save themselves this. So, but really, one knows for a fact that a result is going to come. Yes, definitely Australia are favourites, no doubt about it. But one has to see as to how far Pakistan can go. Can they put up a much better performance than what they put in the first innings? So that is something I'll have a look at. And as far as India versus England was concerned, England, thanks to Liam Dawson making his debut and really proving that in a wonderful manner, as even though India nipped up the English wickets, 3 English wickets very quickly, one thought that England did a fairly good job to reach a total of 477, with Liam Dawson registering an innings where he equaled the record. The last one I'd seen that Jonathan Barristow's father, David Barristow's, Jonathan Barristow's father, David Barristow, has also done it against India, and that was the best knock by a number 8 batsman for England in Test cricket. That happened in 1979 when David Barristow made 59, and Liam Dawson definitely showed that he's a very good cricketer, as he batted well to score an unbeaten 59, which is, again, as I said, he equaled the record. So Liam Dawson will be very happy about that. In fact, not only did he did not equal the record, I'm sorry, he actually broke the record. So Liam Dawson is the one who now holds the record for the highest score made by a number 8 batsman of England on debut, which was 66 not out with 5 fours and 1 6. Adil Rashid played a good hand with 60, and that enabled England to were all out for 477. India, the openers, I thought, played confidently to add 60 runs towards close of play, and we definitely have a very nice day coming in as far as day 3 is concerned. Now, okay, the first I'm going to look at is the match between Pakistan and Australia, and we are talking about day 3. We are entering into day 4, but I'm going to talk about day 3, which had a lot of happenings. Now, Pakistan did well, one thought, thanks to Sarfraz Ahmed, who was there till the end for Pakistan, as he remained unbeaten on 59 with 6 boundaries. The wickets to go: Mohammad Amir was out for 21 to the bowling bird for 2 fours, Rahat Ali for 4. So Pakistan all out for 142. And very interestingly, you could have probably, looking at the score, in fact, as you know, Australia made 429. So basically, Pakistan should have made 229. Now, as we have seen in many of the cases, as has been happening in Test cricket, the captains don't enforce the follow on, and that's what precisely the Australian captain Steven Smith did. He decided not to enforce the follow on, instead wanted Australia, he in fact wanted Australia to bat again. In fact, they went on to business, and as far as the bowling was concerned, the spoils were shared by 3 pace bowlers: Starks, Hazelwood and Bird, chipping in with 3 wickets each. Now, as far as Australia were concerned, they started off, and Pakistan really, trailing by 287 runs, they really fought back in a nice manner to send both the openers into the pavilion for only 24 runs. The first wicket to go was David Warner. Mohammad Amir picking up his wicket for 12 after David Warner had hit 2 boundaries, and Matt Renshaw was caught nicking in the slips of the bowling of Rahat Ali for 6. And so that made it 24 for 2. And after that, from 24 for 2, there was a nice recovery. Steven Smith started playing in a very positive manner, and he was looking the utmost confident yesterday. I mean, he had walked in with probably 1 goal, and that was to play aggressively. And also, even though they lost wickets, as I said, Australia definitely had the cushion of 287 runs, which enabled them to go on the attack against the Pakistan. Especially Steven Smith was not really prepared to really any loose opportunity go a begging, as he was really flowing in smoothly. His strokes were coming in beautifully from the very best part of the bat. And as the thing started moving for Australia, and Usman Khawaja was lending him the much needed support that was needed, as Usman Khawaja and Steven Smith went along in a very nice manner to add 111 runs for the 3rd wicket. As that was going on, Smith was screaming boundaries. In fact, his knock of 63 was a very sweet knock, one could say, as he cracked 63 with 11 boundaries. And finally, Pakistan had some relief, as Steven Smith was a victim of the bowling of Yasir Shah. After that, Usman Khawaja was a victim of the bowling of Rahat Ali for 74 with 8 boundaries, as Hanscom came in and Maddinson came in. And Maddinson definitely, he in fact hit one a very good boundary of Wahab Riaz by taking him on the up and slamming him over the bowler. But the very next boundary, Wahab Riaz got a bouncer. In fact, Nick Maddinson went on for the hook shot, and in the process, the ball went high in the air. Babar Azam took it up. He was gone, and Nick Maddinson is someone now, I'm sure his place would be, I wouldn't say would be dropped, but I would say his place is in doubt for the next test match for sure. But Nick Maddinson was gone for 4, and which left Hanscom once again playing a good part there, as he finished on an unbeaten 35 with 4 boundaries. Matthew Wade on 1, and Steven Smith declared the innings closed at 202 for 5, thus setting the Pakistanis a score of 490 runs for victory. Bowling, as I said, Rahat Ali had 2 for 40 and 1 wicket apiece to Mohammad Amir, Yasir Shah and Wahab Riaz. Pakistan started their chase of 490 runs, which they needed for victory. Sami Aslam was really, I would say, sticking it out there along with Azhar Ali. But then this is what happened. One does not know whether Sami Aslam was really distracted by some rubbish that actually flew when Mitchell Starc was into his bowling stride and Shami Aslam was facing him, there was some sort of rubbish which actually flew at the back of Mitchell Starc. Probably that was something that might have disturbed the concentration of Shami Aslam. Shami Aslam wafted outside the off stump and Renshaw picking up the catch, and Renshaw was kept in the slips as he snapped up the catch for 15 with 2 boundaries. And then Nathan Lyon picked up the wicket of Babar Azam, caught by Smith off the bowling of Lyon 14, which made it 54 for 2. And after that, towards the close of play, we saw Azhar Ali getting in and creaming 3 good boundaries on the bowling of Jackson Bird. Jackson Bird was bowling well, but that particular over, in fact, Azhar Ali started creaming boundaries. He creamed 3 boundaries at the bowling of Jackson Bird, as Pakistan, in the quest to reach 490, finished the day at 70 for the loss of 2 wickets. Azhar Ali was not out in 41 with 5 fours, but Yunus Khan once again was guarding his wicket. I would say he was not comfortable at the crease. Even Azhar Ali was not comfortable, even though he scored 3 boundaries of Jackson Bird. As Pakistan finished at 70 for no loss, Yunus Khan would be under some severe test here because he has not got off the mark as yet, and he has faced 19 balls, which is still justified considering that it was coming to close of play. But now it would be Yunus Khan who would be under a bit of pressure because one is really expecting some big runs from him, especially considering that Australia are chasing 490. Time is not a problem at all, but there is a forecast for rain. But as I said, it is not. The forecast is not such a sort of a very threatening one. Even if it happens, probably they might have a bit of a sort of held up. The play might be held up, and then they would be back in the game. But the bowling, Mitchell Starc at 1 for 28, Hazelwood none for 5. Bowled superbly, I thought. Hazelwood on the money. 11 overs, 8 minutes, 5 runs and no wicket. Jackson Bird, till such time he got creamed for 3 boundaries. 8 overs, 3 minutes, none for 24 was looking good. 6 overs, 2 minutes, 1 for 13. As Australia, chasing 490 for victory, finished at 70 for 2 wickets. As they still have 420 runs to do, and one has to see as to what Pakistan's approach is going to be. Now, from here we shift to India versus England, and we are talking about day 2. So day 2, England resumed their innings on their overnight score, 284 for 4. They had Moeen Ali well entrenched at the crease, and at the other end it was Ben Stokes at the other end. But Ben Stokes was an early victim, as Ashwin got Ben Stokes to really grope forward to a delivery from Ashwin, which was slipped in very well, and Ben Stokes was gone. Caught Patel ball Ashwin for 6, and then Ishan Sharma picking up the wicket of Josh Butler by getting him LBW for 5. He really and Ishan Sharma was very good. In fact, he shook Moeen Ali on the helmet, and one was probably thinking that there would have been a lot of short deliveries, but it was not to be. And then England were in some real bother, one could say, as Moeen Ali, after making 146 with 13 fours and 1 6, was a victim of the bowling of Yadav for 146. As 321 for 7, one thought that probably England would be all out probably before 400, below 400 runs. But Liam Dawson, combining with Adil Rashid, had other ideas, as Liam Dawson was on his debut, so one would have expected that India would probably get the wicket of Dawson. But Liam Dawson definitely started off in a very shaky manner, but settled in nicely. And then we saw that Liam Dawson, what was the reason he was there in the team, and he's a good all-rounder who has been doing well on domestic cricket. And on his test debut, Liam Dawson did a very good turn for himself in the company of Adil Rashid. Adil Rashid was severe on anything which was on the on side. I mean, he was targeting the mid-wicket region, and well, he did play some good shots through the offside as well as mid-wicket, and his whipping through the on-side was a feature, as Adil Rashid and Liam Dawson really helped England to recover in a big way from 321 for 7. India might have thought that they had everything under control, but it was totally out of control when Adil Rashid and Liam Dawson with the crease, as they put on a very good partnership of 108 runs, which took England to that total of 429. But once the partnership had reached 108 runs, Rashid was the next wicket to fall, as it was Umesh Yadav who picked up his wicket for 60 with 8 boundaries, and Broad also contributed 19 runs, but he was run out by a very good pickup by Rahul to Patel. He was gone for 92 boundaries and Jake Ball indulged himself in clouting Mishra for 2 sixes, but Mishra had the last laugh as he clean bowled Jake Ball with a googly, and that was it for England, leaving Liam Dawson with a wonderful record to his name on his test debut, getting his maiden 50. Not only that, this also happened to be the best score by an England batsman, coming in at number 8 and making his test debut, which stood in the name of David Barristow, the former England player, David Barristow, the father of Jonathan Barristow. The bowling, Umesh Yadav had 2 wickets, 2 for 42 for Ishan Sharma. Definitely did a very good turn for himself coming back into the Indian team. Jadeja 3 for 106, 1 wicket apiece to Ashwin and Mishra. As far as India were concerned, replying to a total which was looking much better now after England posted 477. It was the Indian openers KL Rahul and Parthiv Patel. The reason Parthiv Patel opened the innings with KL Rahul was the fact that Murali Vijay was injured, and Murali Vijay is slotted in next if needed. But India, the openers did a good job. They dealt with the new ball well, and they also played some nice strokes as they saw off the day for India with a strong reply, as the Indian openers were there. KL Rahul was not out on 30 with 3 boundaries. Parthiv Patel was not out on 28 with 2 boundaries, as India were 60 for no loss at close of play. Still, they do have a long way to go. 277 is the target to actually avoid the follow on. Bowling, well, Broad had none for 6, Jake Ball none for 9, Moeen Ali none for 18, Stokes none for 12 of 2. Liam Dawson was into action too, and probably one is going to see a lot of Liam Dawson on his test debut bowling. I mean, his batting is something which he has already done a very good turn for himself for England, but now the onus will be on him to bowl well, and I won't be the least surprised, because when a batsman this is very psychological according to me, when the bowler, when any player does well with the bat, and if he is an all-rounder, one could probably expect more from Liam Dawson. The only reason being it is the motivational factor, and I am not going to be the least surprised if Liam Dawson, the left-arm spinner, would be picking up some Indian wickets today, because this is, I'm basing it on some psychology, one could say, but nevertheless it could happen, but one has to really wait and watch. But Liam Dawson, I'm sure, would be getting some wickets probably, but as I said, one has to wait and watch, because confidence breeds confidence. He did well in the batting, and that's the precise reason I'm saying this. Well, dear fan subscribers, that's about it as far as today's Cricket Happening show goes. This is your host Ram signing off for the day. Thank you.